Are you thinking of learning how to play Mahjong? Have you been noticing Mahjong references everywhere you look? You're in the right place. We're going to go over a streamlined overview of National Mahjong League gameplay. The National Mahjong League is based in New York City, and every year they come up with a new annual card. This is a wonderful aspect of the game because you're learning, and every year there's something new to learn. Let's start with the components of what you need to play. 4 players sit at a table across from each other. 152 tiles are used, which we'll explain later. You need Mahjong dice to roll to break the wall, like cutting the deck of cards. 4 racks to display your tiles facing you, as well as on top of the rack to expose the tiles. And a current National Mahjong League annual card. The objective of the game is to be the first player to form a winning hand of 14 tiles. And this is done by making combinations of suits, numbers, winds, flowers, and dragons, which are shown on the National Mahjong League card. And this is done by picking tiles, discarding tiles, claiming discards, and making exposures. So the 152 tiles, and exactly 152, that are used in National Mahjong League play are winds, 4 each of north, east, west, and south, flowers, a total of 8, and if you just got a set and you're setting it up, you might have extra tiles, so you could remove anything above 8. So just pick your 8 favorite tiles for flowers. Then there's 3 suits, cracks, bams, and dots. And those are pictured in the top right, bottom left, and bottom right. Those are numbered 1 through 9, and there's 4 of each. Moving on, we have red, green, and white dragons, and there's 4 each of those. And then joker tiles. There's 8 jokers, and there's a ton of rules about jokers, but we're going to say it for the first time, and you're going to hear it over and over again. But joker tiles are very special and can substitute for other tiles. But you can never use a joker in a single, a group of singles, or a pair. You could only use a joker when on the card it's an identical grouping of 3 or more tiles. So you're going to hear that over and over again, but by the time you finish this video and by the time you finish your classes, you will remember. Let's get started. First, all 152 tiles are put face down. And if for some reason you're learning and the teacher talks about something different than 152, either you're learning a different style of Mahjong, or if it is National Mahjong League play, they're using a house rule. So 152 tiles divided by the 4 players, you come up with 19 long and 2 high of tiles. We really believe that players should first learn official rules, and then once they know the rules, house rules are fun to incorporate at some games. Here's an example of how the walls are set up. So 3 of the walls are already set up, and the others are face down, and the player picks from all over and sets them up face down in front of their rack. 19 long, 2 high. Then, after the walls are set up, the player that's known as East rolls the dice. They start all the way to the right, and they count over the number that was rolled, and they take those next 4 tiles. This is akin to like cutting the deck when you're at a casino. Julia Roberts says that Mahjong is creating order out of chaos by the random pick of tiles, and that's what this is. After East takes their first 4, everybody to the right takes their tiles until everyone has 12. East takes 2 more, everyone else takes 1 more until East has 14 and everyone else has 13. And there's a special way, and you'll learn about it in your class, but this is just an overview of the tiles that are taken. Once everyone has the tiles on their rack, they arrange them however they want, and then there's something that we dance. We dance the Charleston, but don't worry, you're sitting in your seat. It's just a series of passes that take place during the beginning of the game. So you pass 3 tiles in a series of passes, first to the right, then over or across to that player, and then to the left. And it could stop there if a player stops it. If not, then it continues to the second part of the Charleston, which is left again, across or over, and right again. Finally, after all of those passes, then there's a courtesy pass, and you could pass up to 3 with the player across from you. The purpose of the Charleston is building towards a section on the card. You're trying to collect tiles that work together to build a hand. Then the game begins. East discards that extra 14th tile. So a winning hand has 14 tiles. So now every player has 13, and the way that they win is they either pick or claim their 14th tile that they need. So the player to the right picks and discards, and so on and so on. Player ends in R for right, so play goes to the right, and wall ends in L for left, so the walls in front of the racks are pushed out to the left. Usually it's pick and then discard, but if there's a discarded tile that you could use as an exposure, any player could claim a discard. It doesn't have to be the next player in line. The rules about that is you must verbalize it and you must use it in an exposure that all the other players see. So if somebody throws a 2-dot and you have 2 dots or jokers in your hand and you could call it, you call the discard, you announce it, you pick up that discard, put it on the top of your rack for everyone to see, and add tiles from your hand. One note, another rule about jokers is they can never be called. And you could only make exposures if on the card, if you have your card and you look at it now, if the hand on the card has an X next to it. If the hand on the card has a C next to it, then you have to wait until you need your 14th tile and pick that winning tile or call that winning tile for Mahjong. Concealed hands have no exposures prior to winning. Now, like we said about jokers, we warned you in the beginning, you're going to hear a lot about them. Jokers are favorite tiles of players, but there's also a lot of rules, and they can never be used in a single, a pair, or a group of singles. So if you're looking at the card and you see 1, 2, 3 written down, or if you see the letters NEWS, or even the year 2024, 2025, whatever year it is, those are considered a group of singles. So you cannot use a joker in them. We're not going to go into too much detail about dead hands, but just like if you're playing baseball and you strike out, a dead hand is when something's unwinnable. There's many recognized reasons, and we go over those in our visual companion guide for American Mahjong. A hand can be challenged as a dead hand, and either the player agrees and stops playing, or they disagree, and the challenge is resolved at the end of the game. Finally, if a player has all 14 tiles that match a hand on the card, they shout out Mahjong. Any discarded tile, other than a joker, can be called for Mahjong for any hand, whether the player is playing a concealed hand or an exposed hand, and whether they need it for a pair, a single, or a group of singles. So we know this was a lot of information to just be in an overview, but we just wanted to put a seed in your mind of the flow of the game, of what it's all about. And Mahjong is art that you could play with. It's beautiful, it's social, and it's so wonderful for brain health. If you're thinking of learning to play and there's not somewhere locally that you could take lessons, we invite you to check out our on-demand virtual series. We walk you through in 4 lessons that you could watch at your leisure, and we send information by PDFs and online quizzes to test your knowledge. You could register on modernmahjong.com and we'll send you all the info. Thanks so much for listening to this video. We appreciate your support of our women-owned small business and invite you to shop on our website, modernmahjong.com, where we have a curated collection of Mahjong and canasta gifts and accessories. The expert at anything started as a beginner, and everybody on Mahjong community, it's our Facebook group, loves answering questions and discussing Mahjong. It's just such a warm and welcoming community, and we invite you to join us. If you happen to be in South Florida or you know someone who wants to play Mahjong in the area, please share this with them. We have an event at Pinstripes in Aventura on September 23rd. Then we're going to Orlando, October 14th. Pinstripes are there as well. Coming back to Fort Lauderdale, October 24th to teach in-person classes. And then October 25th, we're having a sip, snack, shop, and social night of games. Both of these are fundraisers for the Alzheimer's Association. We have another fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association. A great game night is in store at Clive Daniels' home in Boca Raton, Florida. Registration is now open on our website. We hope that this information was helpful, and we really want to help you learn official rules. House rules can be a lot of fun, but we think when first learning, it's really important to learn official rules, learn strategies, and increase your odds of winning by staying connected. We invite you to like, comment, save, and most importantly, share. We hope you have a great day and a great game.